Hi guys, this is LittleLee and Rose. My name is Summer Noel, and we are going to do a glow-in-the-dark peekaboo tumbler today. So if you have never seen me do a chunky glitter, jump back on, because I've already prepped and started this cup. I'm just trying to save time because I know a lot of people who watch my channel have done this a million times. I've already chunky glittered. So if you don't know how to do a chunky glitter on a stainless steel cup, jump back onto my channel, search through and look for how to apply chunky glitter to a stainless steel tumbler, and you can follow that tutorial, and that will bring you to this stage. It's actually very similar to that one. That one has a coral base with opal over the top, and this is actually a white base with orange chunky over the top. This glitter is absolutely gorgeous in person. It is from wickedshimmer.com. So it's wickedshimmersupply.com. And I believe it's called Sandman. But I would have to double check on that, guys. But I believe it's called Sandman. And then what I did was I did a layer of epoxy over the glitter. And then I sprayed the entire cup with glow spray paint. So the whole cup has, first I did hang method to put the glitter on, then I let it cure. I did a epoxy over the top, then I did a layer of glow spray paint all over. I probably put 4 coats of spray paint with the glow spray paint on it. Then I put another layer of epoxy over the top to protect the glow spray paint because I don't want it pulling off when I'm working with my decals and stuff. So then what I did, this is the tassel part. If you have not seen me attach a tassel, you can also watch one of my old other tattoos for, one of my other tutorials for my tassel tumbler. And I did it very similar to this one. And this one, the other one is done under fabric, but it's very, very similar to this process. This one, I just cut the strip. This is one of those cord necklaces, and I cut it and I super glued the cord down to the cup, just straight onto the epoxy. I leave this part out, and the other part is going to be attached to the tassel, which we will build later in the tutorial here. So this is going to give us a base of something to hold and hang that tassel onto. Then we're actually going to put our vinyl on. We're going to do another set of glitter, and we're going to epoxy over this, and the epoxy will seal this in completely and hold it really, really tight so that it won't come off, all right? So this is the stage. After you've done the 2 layers of epoxy to hold in the glitter and the glow-in-the-dark spray paint, then you're going to super glue this tassel on. Again, if you haven't seen me work with these tassels, just jump back on my channel and you can see my other tassel tutorials, and it will teach you more in depth if you don't understand what I'm saying here. Okay, we're going to keep on moving. So today for this one, we are going to do a giant lace peekaboo. So I've been getting asked to do lace in my Facebook group, and whatever they wish is my command. So we are gonna, this isn't actual lace. This is just gonna be the image of like lace onto this cup. I just went on Google and put on lace silhouette and found a beautiful picture and turned it into an SVG and blew it up. This was actually really, really small. I blew it up because I wanted it all over the whole cup, and made this SVG, and I've weeded it. I did the reverse weeding. Again, if you don't know what reverse weeding is, check my channel. I have a whole YouTube tutorial on how to reverse weed. It's how to get all this out, the vinyl out from between it, very, very easily in almost one pull, swift pull. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and start attaching this. I've got my squeegees ready. This is going to be very simple. We're just going to lay this. I'm going to put the tassel up because I want the thing to wrap up close to this. And that's going to be our midpoint. So we are just going to drop this right in the middle here. It doesn't have to be perfect because I actually don't want any of the lace to go in this strip where the tassel is. We're going to do a little something different there. Then you're going to take it and you're going to roll it. I use this soft surface, guys, so that it makes really good contact with the cup. If you do it on a hard table, it may not make as good a contact. I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to roll it both ways. And just to start getting that attached to the cup. Now, this doesn't have to be laid on perfect. If it's not perfect, we can always hand add some of these decals that are left over onto the cup in places that if it gets missed a little bit. Whoop, we don't want to stick together there. Okay. Sorry, that one got stuck. Put him right back. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to pull this side away. And I'm going to rub real good. So like here you can see on the bottom, I'm a little bit farther away. That's actually fine. You won't even notice it once it gets all the glitter over the top. It's a little off. I should have lined up the top better. I was very excited to just jump in. I didn't do my thorough check and check to make sure my lines were straight, but this is fine. This is fine. I'm sure it's going to be a happy accident in the end. So we're making sure all those decals are laying on there real well. Use my squeegee a bit here. Okay, so this, since this is not being cooperative, we're just going to lay that down as well. Okay, so now where it's overlapping, I'm just going to cut it away. Like I said, I actually want the strip down the side. So I'm just going to cut through with my X-Acto knife. Straight down. And you guys always say cut away from your body when you see me do this in tutorials. But if you could see me, I am actually straddling a camera to do this. I have extremely long arms, which is what allows me to be able to reach way out like that. But even if I slipped, I couldn't cut myself because I would just hit the tripod of this camera. That's why I'm always apologizing to you guys for bumping the camera, because I am on top of it to get you guys this best angle, the best angle on this. Okay, so there's that piece. We're gonna keep rubbing. Make sure it's really down well. I believe that should work. Should be pretty good. Okay, I'm just going to pull this away. As I see one that doesn't want to stick, I'm just going to help it stick. Slow and steady wins the race on this one, guys. These cups are an art form, and so they take time to get the perfect cup done. Anytime I try to rush anything, I screw it up. So I am going to go nice and slow and just slowly pull this up. You can see anything that's trying to stay, I'm just helping it lay down. Normally they stick a little bit better than this. It might be, I don't know, it could be. Got the cup pretty clean. There we go. I want to try to keep as many details as I can. A few might pop up and stay on the transfer paper that I missed, but we're going to get them all. I want this to be a super detailed cup. I want a lot of these peekaboos on here because I want to show a lot of the glow feature through this. I made this SVG, guys, so if you love this SVG, I will get it available in my Facebook group as soon as I get a chance. I say that because I am one busy Tumbler lady. And you guys might have to remind me. Everybody in my group, you might have to remind me to add this file because I might forget. I got so much going on that my brain forgets stuff very easily. So this, it usually sticks a lot better than this, guys. I think there's something on the surface of this cup. Maybe my kids got in here and messed with it a little, and it's got their little grubby fingers on it, because some of them sticking really well and some of them want to lift super easily. So I'm going to guess that there's little oily fingerprints on here, because my kids love to be in this space with me and I can't keep track of them all the time. There's 3 of them, for crying out loud. Those little rascals. All right, so I'm going to finish this out. You guys don't need to watch me. You get the point. I'm going to put you guys on high speed and finish this one up. Okay, guys, we're back. I just pulled that all off and I just switched it to time lapse because it was getting tedious, and I try to save time for you guys. I know you want to get to cup making. So what I did was I just matched up some of the pieces from these areas like that were kind of cut off, and I just matched up little pieces that were left over and hooked them on. That'll make it a little less noticeable once we glitter this, so you won't really see that was like a spot where we missed stickers. And so they don't have to be perfect. So what I have on this cup right now, guys, because you don't see me do the actual glitter in this tutorial, is on this cup I have a white base, and then I used Sandman plus some neon orange glitter in the glitter. Okay, so that's what I have. It's just a white base of spray paint with the orange glitters over the top. All right, so I just cleaned the bottom up because I'm going to just leave the bottom. I'm going to cover the bottom. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to go out and I'm going to pin that back down with a piece of tape just to get it out of the way. This isn't flopping around while I'm working on this cup. And I'm going to tape that down, and then I'm going to take this out. I'm going to spray paint this all white, all right? And then we'll be right back. Okay, guys, I forgot that we are going to add the decal to this one, and I need to show you what we're going to be doing to add the decal. So I want the decal to be sitting on a solid white base. That way it shows really, really well. So we're going to spray paint and glitter underneath it. So we need to cut away and remove anything that is going to be left there with the pattern, because we want it to be solid. So what I did was I cut out the piece of vinyl, the shape of my decal, and I'm just going to go through and just use my X-Acto knife to cut these beautiful lace pieces away so that we can pull it out and then put glitter down in this space and not have any lace parts of this part. So what I'm just doing, I put the decal there, you'll see, because that's how I'm going to remove all this vinyl. I'm just going to pull that decal up, and it's going to pull all that vinyl with it. Okay, this is a little tedious, but I've never done this on a video with you guys, so I want to do it on camera instead of high speed, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm just taking my X-Acto knife, cutting through this vinyl, all these little bits and pieces. Boop. It doesn't matter if you kind of slice into the epoxy, because we're going to be putting epoxy over the top and it'll fill in that slice just fine. You won't even see it. So you don't have to be concerned with that. And I believe we already did this one. Yeah, I can feel it. Okay, so now I'm going to get my weeding tool and I'm going to pull up a corner of this, and it should peel back most of these decals. If it doesn't, we'll just pull it off just like we would to reveal a peekaboo, or just like you would be weeding it. Oh, it's going to be stubborn. It's going to be stubborn. Of course it's going to be stubborn today, because I'm recording it. That's what happens. You guys don't even know how many takes I do on some of these. I start my video and then something goes awry and I have to start over from scratch, and then something goes awry again, and I'll do like 5 or 6 takes for one part of this tutorial. So that's why you guys think this is so easy sometimes, and you're like, oh, do this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it takes so long to make one video, because it's actually very nerve-wracking to do this knowing I'm on camera, and so it makes me actually mess up a lot more. So that's why I'm laughing with this, because of course it's going wrong. Of course it's not lifting up the vinyl like it's normally supposed to. It's getting some of it, but not all of it. There we go. Guess I should have rubbed a little harder. I just get so excited, you guys, to be up here with you and showing you something cool. I just get going. I forget to do stuff like rub it. Okay. All right, so that is a spot that is going to be all white. So there's that lace pattern. I'm going to throw that off to the side. And so that is going to be the spot when I spray and I remove, that's going to be left over. Okay, I'm also going to take my hot glue gun And these are 2 steps. I got a little ahead of myself saying we're gonna go paint. And I'm just gonna drop, oh, it might be out of hot glue now. Well, farts. All right, guys, I gotta go get glue. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, here we go. We are set up for the next step. The decal is on. We have cut out the spot where we're gonna be putting these decals are on. Then we've cut out the spot for this decal to go once we get all the glitter on and get some epoxy on this sucker. And now what we're gonna do is we are gonna spray paint it with white. Nope, sorry. Now I lined it all up here, confused myself. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and I'm gonna drop little drops of the glue on top of the bigger parts of these, and maybe some of the smaller ones on all these, so they're really easy to find. But I know that this pattern is pretty close, so I know if I can do my tapping technique that I use, I'm gonna be able to find most of these that way, but this is just gonna help me find them as well. And this tip was given to me by one of my awesome subscribers, and I have been using it ever since, and I love it. The whole, like, it just leaves a little dot, so when you cover everything with the glitter, you can go back and still see where all the bumps are. That means that's where your glue is, and you need to remove that decal. So I'm gonna go through this and put little dots on. Then I'm gonna take it outside. I'm gonna spray paint it with the Rust-Oleum flat double coverage white. And then we are going to go ahead and Super 77 Scotch spray it. And then we're gonna dump the Boogeyman from Wicked Shimmer Supply on the entire cup, and then we're gonna pull the decals away. So that's just kind of the process that you're gonna see me go through in the next one. By the way, guys, this is an incredible white glitter. I don't know if the light's picking it up, but it is so shimmery and beautiful. I'm in love with this. So I'm super duper excited to use it for this cup. So that's our process now, guys. I'm gonna put you on high speed because you don't need to tediously watch me put little dots of glue. And we will be back after we've got it spray painted. All right, guys, so for this cup, we are now gonna build the tassel that goes off the side. So I showed you guys that black string that was going down. I said it's a tassel. You'll see later in the tutorial what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna build a tassel that's gonna hook on to that little piece of string on the end and hang off the cup. It's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. So you guys, I just kind of brought these over to show you inspiration of what you can make your tassels out of. You can literally do anything you want and be creative. It's another awesome creative outlet for us, is just to create this gorgeous tassel how you want it, what you want in your cup. I'll show you what I did today and what I like. But again, I change it up all the time. So these are just fun little things I got at Hobby Lobby. I always check for red stickers. So I got these beautiful feathers, which I used in this one today because it's going to match the cup with the oranges and the coppers and stuff. It's going to be beautiful. But they have all these little things, and if you use your coupon or you just kind of search in their clearance section, oh look, see, that one was reduced to 99 cents as well. So I always check their clearance section, guys. Oh, that's a little tip for this one. For my Hobby Lobby, it's in the back right corner. The whole back right corner wall is all their clearance stuff that they've marked out and are getting rid of. And it's always cheap. So always check there. So I get like Mod Podge there. I think I even got this Super 77 there. I don't know why they put stuff back there because it's perfectly good product. They just mark it down. These are just inspirations for you guys for tassels, what you can use. I'm going to move these out of the way because we've got a lot going on this space. You need these beads to do some of your anchoring of your feathers. I got this at Hobby Lobby as well. It's just hemp cord. It was really inexpensive. It was like $2 or $3, and I used my coupon. So you can see here, I'm going to keep my little water slide here as inspiration. It's how I picked my colors. And we are going to move on. So I'm going to start from the beginning and show you guys. I'm going to put these little tools off to the side. So what you're going to do is I will link where I bought these guys in the drop down description menu. I got them really expensive. I think inexpensive. I think I paid $2 for the whole pack of these, and I use these all the time. So this is just a cord that you would make a necklace out of. Again, you can be creative. This is just to give you inspiration on how to attach these. This is one way to do it, guys. This is how I like it. It's the easy way. You can actually make these with your own. You can buy all these individual parts and just make it yourself. That's just so time consuming when I can buy a huge pack of these for like $2. So what I did was I bought them like this. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this strip with the clasp on it on the end, and I cut it right about here. And then that's what I put on my cup, and I super glued it down in place so that this is hanging from the top, and this is dangling down, and it's ready for you to attach your tassel. Okay, so you saw that on the cup as I was working on it, the black string that I had super glued to it. So I cut there. Then I take the other side and I cut it as well, but I don't make it as long. It's much shorter. And then I make my tassel from that. So I'm going to move these extra ones out of the way as well. So then this one will go in with my group of little things I want hanging down. So here's just more inspiration for what you guys can do. So you can see here I took my feather and I attached it to a piece of string. I took the hemp cord, and what I do is I take the hemp cord. I've already made these. Actually, I have another tutorial on this, so if you don't get a very good example of this when you see this tutorial, jump back on my YouTube channel. You can do that by clicking on LittleLee and Rose, and it'll take you to all my videos. And there's going to be another one there that I do a tassel with, and I show you in more in-depth how I get these feathers attached on here. So what I do is I take the string and I cut it to about a little bit longer than I even want it, just so you have extra just in case, because you can never make it longer, only shorter. And I push the string all the way through the bead till it's about 1 inch out. Then I take my super glue and I put super glue on that bead. I'm sorry, no, UV resin. I use me UV resin. The reason I don't, super glue or UV resin works, so I should not say that way. They both work, guys. You can use super glue or the UV resin. I'm gonna stick with UV resin for today because we're using UV resin, and it's one less thing you have to buy. So you can put UV resin on there, then you pull that string back through the bead. I leave a little bit, see there's a little tail of the string sticking out, and I make sure that dauber has a little glue on it as well as a UV resin, and then I pull the rest through, and then I hit it with my UV light. So there's 2 ways of getting UV light. There's probably more ways, but these are the 2 ways I have, guys. I have this thing. I work in the beauty industry, so I have one of these gel fingernails to do gel nails to set the UV epoxy. In gel nail, they call it gel nail. It's basically UV epoxy, but they're calling it gel. In the light, or I have a UV flashlight. So you can see it's purple. It's a UV flashlight. So the UV is what will actually cure this resin. It's very similar kind of to the epoxy that we use, but this is cured by light and the other one is cured by just time. So cut 2, in another one of my tutorials I do with you guys, I work with a lot of the glow powders, and I will link this as well because this is so handy, and I love these glow powders, and I got a really, really good deal on these, so I'll put the link for these guys in the drop down menu as well. But inside this glow powder came this UV light. It came with it. So this is a 2-for-1 for you guys. So you get the glow powder, but you also get the UV light that will charge your glow powder and will also work with this UV resin. So you have this little light, and you hold it over the UV resin for like 60 seconds, like 1 minute per one, and that will actually cure the epoxy that fast. So that's how I made my little feather ones on a string. I just put the bead, and that's why you would need these big wood beads. These are Walmart. It's in their craft department. They're like $5 for this huge pack. This will last me like 6 years. And then I did this one, and I did a long string, and I put one on each string, and that way I can adjust it as I'm kind of tweaking my my whole tassel. If I want one longer or shorter, they're attached, so I can just do that and just pull them and make them different lengths. I knew this one I wanted shorter, so I made it shorter and didn't worry about it, so that I have them all at different lengths. All right, so that's what I did for those. So I have one that's got a feather on both sides, so I can just hoop it and make part of my thing, and then I got one that's on a shorter string just like that. Okay, and then when you guys are making these, if you want to hand make these, you can buy these tassels, but you can also make them. I bought these personally, but you can take that like friendship bracelet string, and you lay a piece of string out this way, and then you cut a ton of them up in little pieces, and lay them across. You can do multicolored, one colored, and then you take the outside string up, tie it in a double knot, and then that's how you get a tassel like this. And then so you have that string and you pull it down, and then you put another one over it, around it this way, and tie it, and then you have a tassel just like this. All right, guys, so I have them in all these colors. I think I selected these because they matched and looked really good with my water slide, and they're gonna look beautiful with the orange because there's like that orangey color in the glitter, the glow glitter that we're working with. So then what I do is, and then I just cut some ribbons. I put one like soft pink one in there just to kind of bring out the pink and the rose and to kind of match with this pink tassel. And I've been playing with these, so I fiddled with them. So you bend them over, loop them, and make a loop at the top. Bend them over and loop at the top, and bend it over and loop it at the top. And then you have your lace in the middle. Then you can just start adding your feathers and tassels where you want them. And then this will go in there, just like this. Oops, sorry guys, I don't know if that was even in camera. Let me make sure I'm in camera here. So I'm just slowly adding and building this into something. Okay, let's see which one was longer. Oh, they're the same, so I'll just make one shorter and leave one completely long. So I'm just bunching them up and then adjusting them accordingly as I want them in there, lengthwise. So the top will be a little wonky like this. It's fine. We're going to hide that all in there. Okay, so there we go. That one. Perfect. So that's really cute. That's just going to hang out off the side. Let me see. I want this pink one to go a little bit higher. All right. Does that scream like music festival or what? It's so beautiful. By the way, guys, we have Coachella out here, and that's what it kind of got me making these again. It's been a while, but it's Coachella season, and these are huge sellers for people who are going to Coachella. So if you happen to go to Coachella here in San Diego, California, well, it's not in San Diego, it's actually out in the desert, but close to us here in San Diego, then you might have seen some of my cups there. So what I do is I just take some of that hemp string and I just knot it. I do these a couple different ways, guys, so you'll see me do them different in some of my tutorials, but it's like, again, there's a million ways to the finish line. This is just one of them. Okay, so then I tie it really, whoop, slipped right out of my hands. Tie that really, really tight. Okay, then I'm just gonna go through and cut off these extra little weird strings, because those aren't pretty. Okay, we get rid of those. Whoops, forgot the important part. I need to attach it. All right, so I'm gonna untie it. This is the story of my life, guys. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop the camera. You don't need to watch me redo this. Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys, I just had to undo that knot. You don't need to watch me undo a knot. I try not to waste your guys' time. I try to get you the information quickly and efficiently. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna take this black and I'm gonna, because it's black and kind of ugly, you can probably spray paint it or whatever, but I just tuck it down in here. Use my little poker stick, shove it down in there. Here we go. Forget it, that's not working. I'm just gonna open. I was trying to do it, I was trying to think smarter, not harder, and it made it harder, not smarter. Okay, so I reopened the knot, just stick it down in the middle so that it's the black is kind of hidden inside the pink and the white, and then tie it. And so that's that little tassel is now hanging out the top, and that's going to allow you to hook this to the cup. The reason I make it removable is because some people are going to be put off about washing this. At first when I was doing these, I did not make them removable, and I was just telling people to put them, sorry, I'm using my teeth to tie this. I'm a mom, I do stuff like that. I was just telling people to put a Ziploc bag over it and then hand wash it and just be careful. But all this stuff, feathers can get wet, all this can get wet. Whoops. See, I'm talking and goofing around. But all this stuff can get wet. It doesn't matter if it gets wet. It will dry. But I was telling them to put it in a Ziploc if they were uncomfortable. And then I realized, well, I'll just devise a way to make it removable so people don't have to even worry about it. So that's how I came up with this. So I guess if somebody called me out and said, oh, it seems like you just make it up as you go. Well, sometimes I do. Like figuring these things out. That's this whole thing with these tumblers, guys. It's just a work in progress, all of us. If you're not learning something new, then you're sitting stagnant and everyone is passing you by. So now you're going to start working with your UV resin. I love this thing. You're going to see me use this as a poker stick here. If you've never worked with this stuff, it's very, very awesome. Again, I will let you guys know in the drop-down menu where I buy this. I find it at a really good price. I'm just going to kind of stick it some in the middle here. I just want to make sure all this is really well glued together. So I'm just putting a little in the middle and a little on the outside here. Sorry, I use this a lot. So, and then what I'm going to do is these extra little, whoops, let's put that over there. These extra little tabs from making the knot. Sorry, I have my paper towel here. I'm gonna put it down. So the extra little tabs from making the knot are hanging out and sticking out. And we're just going to take those, oops, shove that back in there. Well, farts. Look at what I did. I pulled that, got excited. Sorry guys, this has not been the smoothest part of this tutorial. I had it all planned out, and then, you know, we hooked left and went the wrong way. All right, there we go. So I just take this and I pull it tight and I wrap it around and I layer it on top of that piece, that little bit of UV resin that I put on there. Whoop. Okay, and that kind of hides all this. And then I just wrap it and let it hang out. And then I bring the other piece over and up and I wrap it as well. And I just start doing this. And this is going to take a couple, sometimes it takes one round. Sometimes you have to buy, clip extra string and add an extra layer. But for this layer, we're just going to do this one layer real quick. Then I'm going to show you how to UV it. Okay, so we're just going to kind of hold on to it. So you can take your light and just sit here for about a minute and it cures through the UV light. Or this is for me because I'm going to use my hands and keep showing you other stuff. You can just stick it in here off the side, and I'm going to put it in my fingernail light. Again, you guys do not need this finger light. I will find a good inexpensive one that will work because there's a bunch of different varieties and some of them are crazy expensive and some of them are super cheap. So you guys won't even know what to shop for if you're going to buy one of these. So I will do the research for you because I know these things really well, and I will link a good one that's a really good price and is very, very good for you to use for this kind of stuff. Because the UV is really good. Also, if you have leftover and you want to make jewelry, you can do little molds and put it in the UV light and it cures really, really fast. It's just a really fun product to use. And the reason I'm using UV resin over just glues or Mod Podge or whatever is that this stuff can be washed. So if you get warm water on it or something, it will hold up to that. And it will stay sturdy and hold everything like super glue, but super glue I don't like to get wet. It kind of gets soft and weird and turns white. So you don't want to use super glue necessarily. If you don't have anything else, it works. It just kind of looks funky when you get it wet, like washing it. But it goes back to normal once it's not wet anymore. But this UV resin just stays clear. So we're just going to let that sit in there. So this is the, I've got the cup drying over there, and this is like I showed you guys before, it's called Boogeyman by WickedShimmerSupply.com, and it is absolutely gorgeously sparkly. I'm going to jump off and I'm going to go grab that cup. All right, guys, so I brought the cup back. So I just spray painted it white. I don't need it to be completely white because I actually kind of like the orange showing through just a little bit, and it will be accented behind the glitter. And you can see this is kind of ugly, and that's totally fine. You'll see what we're going to do later. And you remember I left the strip here because we're going to glitter over the whole thing. We're going to cover it with some epoxy. We're going to get a good layer of epoxy on it. Then I'm actually going to put washi tape down the side right here to mask that and hide that. And then then I will undo that and we will let this hang, and this will hang, the tassel will hook onto it and it'll look absolutely amazing. So I have the tassel going off the back. You can put it off the side. You can do it however you want. But I'm going to have the image in the front and the tassel off the back is how I designed this cup. But again, personal preference, guys. You can put it wherever you want. So there's that. This should be ready now. Yep, that's hard. So it gets hard that fast, guys. So I just keep wrapping more around and around until I've got it all covered. And the way I like it. But I like stuff kind of rustic, so I'm not a perfectionist about this because the whole idea of this is kind of to make it look a little rusticy against the beautiful glitter cup. So I'm just going to keep doing this, but I'm going to put you on high speed while I do it because you've seen me do it already. All right, guys, just real quick, I wanted to come in and show you. I've got it all done. Here is the tassel. It's gorgeous. It's going to hang off and be super chill and beautiful. And then we're going to take the Super 77, Scotch Super 77. I really like this one. I also really like the ELMERS one. They both work really, really well. So now what I'm going to do is take this cup outside and spray this all over with this adhesive to grab this glitter, okay? I'm going outside because when you spray this indoors and it gets on anything, it's almost impossible to get rid of. So I'm going to spray it outside. All right, guys, I'll be right back and we will put the glitter on this bad boy. All right, guys, now we have this covered in the Scotch 77 and we are going to just sprinkle this glitter straight onto it. I've got my parchment paper down to catch all the excess. Oh, it's so sparkly. I love it. This specific glitter is so rad. She's got a couple of them that do this. They're all in the opals, the opal whites, and they all have different little accent colors. But these whites, like if you do this with like a coral base, the coral shows through the white and it looks amazingly sparkly and kind of coral. So you can layer these on different colored spray paints and give it a really, really cool look. Some of my ombres I do like that, and I just ombre it in paint and then put this white, beautiful white over the top, and it looks ombreed in different colored glitters. Even though it's all one color glitter, it's just different colored bases. Super duper cool. So that's a little tip for you guys on this one. All right, looks like we're pretty well covered. Make sure the edge is really done. Now this doesn't really need to dry, but it does get, it does kind of dry. It never dries hard like spray paint, the super glue stuff, the spray glue, but it will stop being so tacky and it'll be a little bit more of a permanent grip. Oh, that's awesome. I can kind of still see my design through it. The glory of using white glitter, you can still see a little bit, but I definitely can see all my dots of glue. That makes it a lot easier too. So I'm gonna let this set up for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll peel all that out of there. All right, guys, we are back. This is set for a while, and you may hear my kiddos in the background. They are getting ready to go to bed, but we are gonna start pulling these decals up. I can see this one just because it's hanging over the edge. So we're just gonna slowly work our way through this cup. I'm only gonna do a few right now, and I'll put you guys on high speed because you will get the idea of how this works. So I just kind of go through. I can see them through the white, so this is gonna be a little bit easier than normal. You've seen me do this on my mermaid, the double glitter peekaboo mermaid, and how I have the tapping method to feel through the glitter for the tap. You just tap, 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 and you can feel the glitter. Oh, they know I'm in here. They're looking for me. And just pull it up and work your way through. All right, guys, so you just hook under that and just very carefully. The good thing about doing this with the spray adhesive is that if you accidentally lift up some glitter, you just tap it back down because that spray adhesive doesn't dry. And you can just either shake some glitter over a spot if you accidentally scratch some of it, or just tap it back down. Because the glitter, the adhesive spray doesn't ever actually dry. It's always kind of tacky. So that is a bonus to that. All right, guys, I know this is very tedious and boring to watch, so we will jump onto high speed because it's way more fun to watch on high speed. I love watching stuff on time lapse. All right, guys, here we go. Okay, guys, here she is. She's all finished. So I skipped the steps with me just putting on the decal and doing the top coat of epoxy because you guys have seen me epoxy numerous times on my other tutorials, and I just want to make this tutorial just a little bit quicker for you guys. I've been making some really long ones for you guys lately. So if you don't know how to do a top coat of epoxy, go ahead and jump on pretty much any of my tutorials and it'll show you how to do that. And then I will bring you up to speed with this one. You can, to find my other tutorials if you don't know, underneath this tutorial, you can click on LittleLee and Rose and it will take you to my page. Also, if you don't know, the drop-down menu has a list of the tools and the kits that you can buy. And it is on the right-hand screen, just under this tutorial, there's like a little half arrow. Click on that and it'll drop down the menu. Or click read more and it'll drop down the menu and it will show you all the links. Now this tutorial has a kit that will coincide with it. The kit will be available at wickedshimmersupply.com. The kit is going to include the glitters that I used, the decal that I used, and some supplies to help make a tassel for you guys. So that will be at wickedshimmersupply.com. You can use the coupon code LittleLee. Again, I will have this all listed under the tutorial with the drop-down menu, so you can reference that for easy clicking. And now I'm going to show you guys the glow feature. Now it's not not super dark in this room. It is daylight outside. It's the middle of the day. Usually I film this part at night. But in the essence of getting this tutorial out to you guys quick, we're just going to go and try this. It is dark in this room, just not totally dark. So here we go. We're going to turn off the lights and hope that this camera can catch this glow. There it is. It's glowing. So there is a little light filtering from the side, so it's not showing the glow off, and it's totally awesome state. But you guys can see that the lace is in fact glowing through. It's gorgeous. I'm going to kick those lights back on. Now, if it was totally dark, that would have been looking amazing, but we were getting a little bit of filtered light in through the window, even though the curtains are pulled and such. But you guys get the point. It's gorgeous. I love it. Subscribe to this channel. You can see a whole bunch of other rad stuff that I make. Click that bell so you don't miss anything. I release a lot of videos. You can join my Facebook group. It's a great place to network, get inspired, ask questions. It's a very, very helpful community. And we're always doing really cool stuff and having awesome conversations in there. It's a really, really positive vibe. We want you guys to learn. We want you to grow and be awesome at this. So you guys, I look forward to seeing you guys on the next tutorial. Bye-bye.